Hi, this is LadyX UK and here's another tutorial for Project Spark, and today I've created a randomised weapons chest, sort of similar to Call of Duty Zombies. So here we have two types of chest, slight variation on each other, and so let's see how it works. So if I walk up to this chest, now a normal chest, you'll be able to interact with it from the back, from the side, from all angles. I don't want that. I want the player to be able to open the chest only if he's standing in front of it. There we go, like that. And we want it so he has to be looking at it. So there we go. Now we're going to interact with the chest, and a random selection of weapons appears above the chest, and then it creates a random weapon which I can then pick up, and the chest closes, and that's it. It's a one-shot deal. It's created a weapon and that's it, done. Now this chest over here is a variation on that chest. I can't open it at all at the moment, but there is some coin over here, so let's collect let's collect a coin. Okay, and we go back over to the chest, and now we can interact with it. So I do this and it's taken away my coin, so it costs 1 coin to open this particular chest, and it's created a baseball bat. So I could create that. Chest closes. I don't have enough coin. Let's collect some more coin. Go back to my chest. Open it up, and there we go. It's going to create a weapon for me. Boom. It's a hammer. Now, you'll notice I have a coin, but the chest will not activate. Now, that is because this baseball bat is too close to the activation zone. There we go. If I move it slightly away from the baseball bat, there we go. Now we can activate. So you might need to knock things out of the way in order to get to the chest. It's something you can't really do anything about because Project Spark will only activate one object at a time, and it will pick the nearest one. So there we go. That's why it's doing what it's doing. There we are. I've used up all my coins now. This is my last one. Oh, it's giving me another. Because it's randomised, you're not necessarily going to go through every single weapon. It's giving me another hammer. Okay, let's go in and have a look at the brain and how this is done. So here is my chest, and it's got a trigger zone. And I've put that trigger zone slightly in front. I've squashed it down so that it's player sized and in front of the chest. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create an object set of weapons. Once object set weapons equals, and then we're going through all of the weapons that I want this chest to create. So let's add one to this set. So here we go. We've got an axe here, so we'll put that at the end of here, like that. And we're adding, so we go into Math Plus in World Pick, and we'll pick that new weapon. So now we've got 6 rather than 5 weapons. Now then, there is an idiosyncrasy in the code of Project Spark. You cannot create an object set of objects that do not exist in the world. So you can't go through the gallery and create an object set, and you can't use templated objects, unfortunately. So all of these objects have to be physically in the world, which is a bit of a pain, because obviously if you left them like that now, the player would be able to interact with them and pick them up, and they'd be able to see them, and they'd be able to walk into them, and all sorts of things. So we have to do something with the weapons in this weapon set. Now, if you look at the code inside a weapon, it says when not equipped and not attached, you can interact with it and equip it to yourself. Now this is what we're using, not attached. So what I've done in this chest brain is I said for each of the weapons in that weapon set, attach it. So all these weapons are now attached to this chest, and it visible equals false, and it collidable equals false. So you can't see it, you can't use the code to equip it, and it's not collidable, so it doesn't matter if you walk into it, they're non-collidable, so you walk straight through them. So they're basically invisible to the player, and you don't need to worry about them anymore. Now we're saying when the chest does not have power, so the chest is shut, and the player is in the trigger zone, he can interact with the chest and turn the power on, and that power on will open up the chest. When it has power, for 5 seconds, we're going to go through a countdown timer loop and create a random number. So we've created a number variable here, and it equals a random number 1 to 5 as integer. That's a whole number, so 1 to 5. Now we've got 6 weapons in our weapon set now because we've added one, so let's change that number to a 6. So it's going to go randomly through all of those objects in the weapon set. Then for each of the weapons, it's going to go through the weapons and it's going to assign a number to each of those weapons, and when that number equals to the random number, that's going to display a picture of that weapon. And then we're going to say our weapon of choice equals that object. So the current index is just a way of going through all the objects in your object set. And we're going to create a random weapon. After 5 seconds, so it's once going to create some treasure. It's going to create the randomized weapon above the chest, and it's going to make that treasure visible and collidable. You don't have to worry about the attachment because obviously we're creating a brand new weapon, and that isn't that isn't part of the weapon set, so it's not going to be attached, so you're okay. Right, once the treasure is equipped, we're going to power off the chest, and we're going to switch to page 2 so none of this code now works again, and we're done with the chest. And that's it. That will create our randomized weapon. Now for this chest, we've added the buying purchase of the buying element. So everything else is the same except here. So when the player is in the trigger zone, we're going to call him the buyer. Buyer equals it, and that buyer's coin counter is greater than 1, greater than or equal to 1. Then you can interact with the chest. Once you have power, so you've interacted with the chest, you start to, the buyer's coin counter is decremented by 1. And that's it. Everything else is exactly the same as the previous brain. Now obviously I've used the coin counter. You could use a number variable, and it doesn't have to be 1. It could be, you need 10 to open this chest, you need 50, whatever, and then you just change this to decrement by 50 or whatever you like. It can be altered to your taste and to your game. But that's it. It's a very simple little thing, but quite effective and look impressive in any action adventure game, be it first person or third person. So there we go. There's our randomized weapons chest. Hope that's useful to you. Thanks for watching and keep sparking.